Howdy folks, I'm Pushy Pussy Willow, powerfully pursuing puerile pranksters.
I'm Amber.
And here are more pranksters for us to pursue. You know why we're pursuing them? Because they pull one too many pranks on the wrong flower. We're going to make their lives miserable by stuffing them full of fluff. Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Announcing My Sister's Pregnancy Before She Got the Chance? So I am a 29-year-old female, and my sister Ella, a 28-year-old female, has a history of making everything about her and playing the victim when she gets called out, since she's technically our half-sister because my mom had an affair. Long story. Now, I couldn't care about Ella being an affair baby because it wasn't her fault and our parents are still married, so we weren't raised as half-siblings. It's what she does that makes me resent her, like I can't remember a birthday, graduation, or life event that she hasn't made it about her. But goodness sake, anyone else gets upset because Ella has issues due to her being our half-sibling and was raised by a man pretending to be her dad for 13 years. Some examples: for our youngest sibling's graduation, she announced her engagement. 3 of my milestone events were about her health issues and scares and breakups that she didn't care about the next day. Brother's wedding, she brought her bio dad, no heads up. Then spent the whole day trying to get dad, mom, and bio dad, dad's ex best friend, to talk. Even grandma's funeral wasn't safe from her. And that's a lot, and I mean a lot of other examples, but you get the idea. I'm getting married in mid-July, and my brother told me that brother-in-law, while drunk, let it slip on Father's Day that Ella is pregnant. I knew that she would announce it at my wedding, probably do some kind of big reveal as well. So then, I just got on social media and I said, congratulations Ella and brother-in-law on the baby news, and I can't wait for your gender reveal when you find out on the 2nd of July. Then I turned off my phone. Our mom and Ella were extremely upset that I took a special moment away from her and I had no right to announce anyone's pregnancy. I simply said that I knew that she would do it at my wedding, so I got there before she did. And I asked Ella, how does it feel to have someone else take a special moment away from you? Ella tried to deny and defend herself, but my brother's wife started screaming about stuff that she did, followed by our youngest sister, and it ended with Ella having a panic attack. Our parents want us to make up, but Ella says that she wants an apology first, before she'll even try to mend our relationship, or let me be in her son's life. As also called me a jerk for assuming the worst in her. Alright folks, what do you think?
I mean, generally, I am not a favor of announcing people's life events for them, but it also feels like at this point in time, what else can you do to get ahead of her? Like, I feel like she's gonna find some way to make the wedding all about her. I honestly don't know why OP just doesn't go no contact with these people.
Well, that's my biggest problem here. Like, while OP did delay or deflect one problem, it's Ella. There's going to be 10 other problems for her to bring out during your wedding. What's to say she doesn't show up in white, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she's just the kind of person who's going to have drama follow them. And so I think OP, while they might have thought that they were getting rid of one problem, now you've given her ammunition for 10 new problems that she can bring out and air out during your wedding, right?
You know, maybe you and your other siblings can band together and have fun without these
Mm-hmm.
awful people.
Yeah. So I don't think that I think that OP was justified in wanting to reveal it, but I think that they went about this the wrong way, and it's probably just going to cause more issues. Just go no contact with someone like this and not invite them to the wedding and say, you've ruined too many events, I'm not inviting you. Plain and simple. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And No You 5550 says, wait until after the wedding if you are going to apologize, because I promise she will do something at your wedding if she is there to get you back. So if you don't apologize, she won't come, and hey, you didn't even have to uninvite her. Not the jerk, and well done. And OP replies, I know she's going to come if we are talking or not. I know she's going to do something too. I'm planning on taking steps to assure that she won't do it. And Irrelevant Manatee says, everyone's in the wrong here. You could just cut her out of your life and not send her an invite to the wedding. No need to be cruel. And OP replies, my brother tried it after Ella ruined their baby shower by eating nuts. Literally never spoke to her for a year. Both of our parents stopped speaking to him because Ella would have a breakdown when he would ignore her at family events. And then a family dispute, to put it lightly, happened because the younger family members wouldn't invite Ella to events because they chose my brother's side. It's scary how manipulative Ella can be. And the nuts thing is important because the relative is actually allergic to them.
Yeah.
All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Will I be a jerk if I tell my husband that if he keeps traveling around the world, then I'm going to divorce him? My husband is 37 and I'm 35. My husband always liked to travel. When we became a couple, we started doing trips without any destination and those kinds of adventures. But 4 years ago, he said that he thought it would be good for us to have a child and that it was his dream to travel with our son or daughter. I was not sure, but I accepted. I don't regret it at all. I love our kids deeply and I love to spend every day with them. Everything went well, but obviously trips had to stop in a large amount because we now have 2 kids. There are places that are dangerous for a child. We cannot travel whenever we want because it's too stressful for a baby, etc. The first 2 years were good, but then my husband got irritable, saying that he missed traveling. I told him that our son was too little, and I was literally pregnant with our second child, so I couldn't travel. Although I like to travel, it's really stressful, and it's a pain in the butt, with everything that's needed to go on a trip. Imagine doing that while pregnant. He said that he would like to travel alone on his holiday, and at the time it hurt a little, but I had no problem. Before we met, he used to travel alone, so I told him that it was fine. It was okay to have a trip on his vacations. The problem is that the trips have started to be more and more frequent, like we did in the past, but the problem is now that we have 2 kids and I need his help at home. This year, he's gone on vacation a total of 7 times, 1 for 2 weeks, leaving me totally alone with the kids. I used to work, but I had to quit to be able to take care of the children because of his vacations. He's convinced me that I don't need to work since he earns enough, which is true, but I've told him many times that I need him at home. I've told him like 1,000 times that I need his help because they're both of our children, but he's always saying that he needs to travel to clear his head because a man needs time off to be his own person, to not be tied to fatherhood. He even told me that I should do the same. I don't have time to also be my own person. He is justifying that the children lack nothing financially speaking. We're not rich at all, but he lives by renting houses mostly to foreigners, so that really is good money since he earns it in dollars. So he also is doing his job as a father, and they have me with them, so it's totally fine for him to leave. Now, a few days ago, he announced to me that he is going to be going on a winter holiday, and he plans to go for 3 months to travel the world, which is something that we had planned years ago to do, but never did. We were supposed to save up to have that trip all as a family when the children were older, but he wants to do that trip alone now. Yes, I've come to think that maybe he has a lover out there, but it's not like that. 3 months is too long for me, and we had an argument, and he is totally convinced that I am the bad guy in this story because our kids are totally okay. I'm just fed up. If this goes on like this, I don't see any reason to continue with this. I need my husband with me to help, but I've talked about this with my mother, and she just told me that he's dumb but a good man. And thanks to him, my kids live well, but I think our kids need more than money. They need a present father, and I really need help from him. I also would like to have my own vacations with the kids, or just a day to myself, and I don't think my husband is thinking about me and how I feel. My husband is a good man, and I know it. He can be a good father when he tries, but that's not enough. I don't need him just to try. I need him to do that, and I also need his help. And honestly, he's being a big idiot. I'm confused, and maybe it's dumb to post this here, but I would really like to hear from other people an impartial point of view. New account because I use my other account to talk about other things. And please be gentle in the comments about me. I'm pretty much a crybaby, and it's not very nice to read someone call me an idiot. I'm a real person, and I'm in a vulnerable moment. All right, folks, what do you think?
No, I don't think OP's in the wrong here, and I feel so bad for poor OP. You know, she was like, oh, like, he's like, oh, well, we should have kids. Like, it'll be fine. We'll take them everywhere. And then all of a sudden, he's going off on vacations. He's not doing the parent thing.
Yeah.
When the going gets tough, he's like, well, you have money. That's all you need. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
he literally is not concerned for OP's well being at all. He's not taking, like, oh, yeah, you should do the same thing for yourself. When, dude? When are you going to take the kids for 2 weeks so OP can nope out to wherever?
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like that ever is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just going to come up with excuse after excuse. He's convinced himself that he's right here. I think the only recourse here at this point in time is either marital counseling and try to sit down and talk about why this is, how it's impacting OP with a impartial third party who hopefully will help OP be heard, right? Or to get a divorce, because then if they split 50-50, he'll have kids half of the time, OP can go back to work, OP can then go and travel on their half of the time when they have it off, right?
Right. And so, yeah, I mean, I think give OP wants to know if she'd be in the wrong to give him an ultimatum and like about divorce, and I don't think that's in the wrong at all.
Mm-hmm.
This man is not being a present partner. He is not fulfilling anything beyond financial duties.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you could just get alimony from him, child support, and probably be in the same position.
Well, maybe even a better position,
Yeah,
right?
like if they have split custody, but he might not want to go for 50-50 because then he wouldn't be able to do all his soul searching trips for months at a time.
Yeah, well, I don't know how all that would work out, but I feel bad because OP doesn't have a whole lot of like choices in this particular situation. It's bad. It's bad. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Kazutaki Maraki says, not the jerk, and if he has that much money to travel, I suggest getting a full-time maid, or possibly a nanny if you're comfortable with it. That aside, he is a bad husband and a bad father for abandoning his family. If things don't improve, you could file for separation for abandonment. And Love Being a Jerk says, why would he do that? He has a nanny. He's married her. She does it for free. And Tarzan Kitty says, plus he's already paying so much to take his mistress on vacations. I mean, I did want to wonder about that too, right? Like, does he actually have another person out there that he's going on these vacations with?
He might very well, like, who knows with someone like this. He very clearly doesn't care about OP at all.
Yeah, I would suggest OP actually get tested for an STI because if he is sleeping around as he travels, then I mean, like, this could put their health at risk. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Eating Dinner with My Husband? Me and my husband, a 23-year-old female and a 29-year-old male, have been married a year, and I'm pregnant with our first child. We also work extremely difficult working hours, with him being a typical 9 to 5, while I work 3:30 to 4 a.m. to around 1 p.m. I own and I'm a pastry chef for my bakery. Because of this, I'm obviously always home before my husband, and I do a lot more cooking and cleaning in our home because I have the time to do so. That said, sometimes when my husband doesn't leave work until 5:30 and then he has a 30-minute commute. That said, sometimes when my husband doesn't leave work until 5:30 and then has a 30-minute commute that is inevitably made longer because of the work traffic, he doesn't get home until around 6:30 or so. So I usually eat dinner myself and then I wait around for him. This has been more common since being pregnant and being literally starving every single day at 5 p.m. on the dot. Well, my husband has asked me to stop doing this and has asked me just to wait for him so we could have dinner together. I told him that I did not want to wait until 6:30 to eat, so if he could make a point of leaving work on time, then yes, he swore he would. Well, he did not. I waited for him a few times, but I was just so annoyed that I was literally having to wait on him all the time, that I told him that I wasn't going to do it anymore, that I was eating at 5:30 and it was up to him to be sitting with me. Well, I was pleasantly surprised when the next day he was home at 5:30. I waited for him to change and sit with me. Well, then suddenly he had to do everything around the house before sitting down. It was so obvious he was just doing it to be petty that I said fine. I took my dinner to the couch and I ate there. He was so mad. He literally was so adamant on eating dinner together, and I don't even know why. This could be the pregnancy hormones talking, so I'm open to hearing that I am, in fact, the jerk if that is the case. But I don't know. All right, folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. This is an unreasonable demand on his part. I think it's perfectly reasonable to be like, hey, I'm really hungry. I have to eat at a certain time. If you really value eating together, you got to be home for it.
Yeah,
You know.
I think that's fair, right? OP said that I'm starving, I'm carrying a child, I need to eat more frequently and without you. And I don't think that he's being reasonable here. And this whole stunt that he pulled of getting home on
Mm-hmm.
time only to like drag his feet.
Right. He's clearly just doing it to be a jerk to her. Like, you don't do that to someone you care about,
Hmm.
and so I understand that like it's not always easy to get out of work on time, but he can forego having dinners together if it's that difficult. They
Yeah,
could or he could wake up early and have breakfast with her.
yeah.
There's any number of things that he could do that don't involve making his pregnant wife wait hours to eat.
Yeah, and I think that's really what this one boils down to. He's not being a good partner in this particular case. He needs to actually work at getting home on time and then also sitting down to eat at 5:30 if this is really what he wants. But otherwise, he just needs to not be so demanding of OP and say force her to eat at his convenience. I don't know. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
It's more vacation predictions.
More vacation predictions, not a joke, but something that Jovial Bobstein wrote and thought was amusing.
At least one of your friends will report seeing a shark, even though they are vacationing in Ohio.
You might see a shark if you're vacationing in Ohio because of Sharknado. So be careful about those tornadoes that contain sharks. I hear they're quite frequent. And I have Mega Mint. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Manic Monday, folks. I hope your Monday is off to a great start. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it in the form of a fortune cookie.
If you make it all about you, don't be surprised to meet the consequences of your actions.
Oh, I think that's a good fortune. Better than Jovial Bobstein's fortune. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye!